they're pulled up yet. If y'all aren't using Hugging Face, you should be. It's great. I'm not gonna showcase it because I'm not going to Hugging Face right now. I'm going to Kick. And I gotta say, I dig that Kick has supported me. I don't really know what Kick is about, if they have something I should know about Kick. But I have had people actually follow me and message me. I think I'm streaming to YouTube too. Restream should be working. I don't know if YouTube will ban me for talking about another platform. They seem like the type. It says live now. No, it's not. I forget. So I want to open Visual Studio. I don't know if we're gonna use this or not yet. I don't even know where we were at last. I think we were trying to put a border around this thing. So we want to turn, instead of going through turning off debug, so I don't want to do that yet. I know we have debugging. We're going to go into settings. This is the beauty of writing in a debugger. And we will restrict it to info. No, we don't want the whole debug. We're still getting the debug. That's not good. Debug level. We don't pass the name in, do we? Maybe we do, but we don't pass it in. Statically. I mean, technically we do, I guess. I need to find a log function. And then just get a definition. And then, so we're just printing if the value print logging this might not be supposed to be the value of the value. Let's try it with just one. I think that breaks. I think it says, yeah, you can't. This is the one we're checking. Alright, there's 0. It shouldn't be 0. Logging level, debug level. Let's go to debug level and then say value. Let's just do that. Let's see if that changes anything. I thought we just got rid of that. Okay. Well, now we're checking 3 against 1 and only seeing warning. Let's find this warning. What are we checking? We're checking if it's inbounds. Let's just set this to debug for now, because I don't think we need that right now. We might. I don't think we do. So, created a cell. Clear this, and then let's look at it. We should have 100 of these, literally. 99. So, creating new. So, I haven't debugged this stuff yet. this by doing these first. If we do these first, so we shouldn't be spawning. Okay, we can spawn units. I almost want to do away with markets. We're gonna do away with markets. Doing that won't do away with travel. No, let's leave markets because we want people to be able to build markets and build homes. So what I'm thinking is that we could actually not necessarily limit the space, but like say there could only be, just imagine there can only be like 10 markets in a square. Like if we had a square like this, and we could only have 10 of them in this size. Once there are 10 of them, like okay, the idea is that if an agent or a unit, let's call it a unit, if a unit decided that they wanted to, if a market gave them 10% of an increase on trade, on everybody's trade, right? So they actually, through the market, we could create a tax system and we could allow somebody to be a market owner. And we would want to see if we could pass these traits down, right? That's the concept here. If we could do that, if we limited the number of cells, we could allow them to auction. If we create a mechanism, we could allow them to have some sort of trade. That would be super interesting because then we could create trade rules. I don't know if we'll be able to get to that point. That's like super ambitious. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it to a reasonable point. We need to get these drawing. That's the first thing. But I do think maybe we do these first before we do these. So if we can say, where's our code? Let's move this terminal back down. There we go. Let's close all of these. I guess I can make it bigger too. I might help you guys out. So in our world, this is where we want to populate. The logic should make sense for us to populate. We have the grid that populates, but when we almost need the genome to do the populating, if I think about it. This is where we should have self population equals set population count, because we want to map our population count over time. We want to look how societies, if they grow, to do graph this over time. So then this is where the genetic learning comes, so that we could build bigger AI systems, so that when you have a time series of snapshots, that's a tensor. And so it's a multi-dimensional array because we've got an array of data over a time period that we can graph, but then we can abstract features out of that. We can change the way that we build the system. We actually build a convolutional layer on top of it. We could technically program a collective consciousness. I know that sounds crazy as technically that is possible. Um, so yeah, I mean that's essentially what we're trying to do here. We're not really limiting a lifetime either, so that would be interesting too, because they could technically, like, we will probably have to implement some sort of death mechanism so they don't live forever. Because that's the first learning curve. It's learning to trade wealth and energy. Wealth for energy. If they can learn that, then we have to start building restrictions on both of them. And we still have to figure out to implement not just a reward system, yeah, obviously a reward system, back propagation. So we have to figure out which rewards are best under what conditions. It's gonna be really interesting. So the problem is right now too, this is actually no, okay, this doesn't exist here. We need to do this at the agent level. The only reason we use total reward, I'm gonna draw this out real quick too. The only reason we use like total reward, I need to have this. I might already have it. I don't have an outline. I thought I did actually. Maybe it was in the older code. We'll do one right now, even though it's in GIMP. I don't care. So the concept is on a genetic level. So like if we let's just say genes. I'm doing this with the mouse. So bear with me. So looks like a dang kindergarten shirt. If we have a population, if we put them all on a list, and we say, I actually have this written out somewhere, so we don't have to like rethink through this. This is in the, I think it's actually in the outline. I think the outline's the technical one. Sitting too close to the screen. Did I not write it out here? I thought I did, man. Genetic. Fill half the population with half of the furthest generation. Yeah. I should have wrote the rest out. We'll go back and transfer it over. But when we create, like, so watch this. Let me show you all. When we run this thing, it's failing right now, but you can see it cycle. When they all die, it starts back over. And so it creates, like you can see, this is the lifespan, and then that's the reward. I don't know why this keeps glitching, but I'll fix it later. But basically, like, these things go and then they die. So each one of those is a generation. And so we're going to train individuals, and then there's going to become this, like, general education pool that they're going to start with at first. I want to move that down to the individual level once they start to learn how to reproduce. So, just for like a list of actions, they can get food. I can't spell. They can get food, or they can get money. I could be typing this out, but whatever. And then they can also have sex, or they can mate. We'll be not gender appropriate, child friendly, and we'll say mate. That can reproduce. And so to get food, they have to spend money, and then to get money, they have to sell food. So they get 5 food. They sell 5 food and get 10 money, or they buy food, 10 food for 5 coins. So it's like there's double reward on both sides. They both double what they get for having trade. And so there's this trade action that we have. So that's really what it is that they trade. If they can figure out how to trade, they won't die. If they can figure out how to live long enough, then we can introduce a mating function, and then they can have children. And that's where we create the reward system where they learn to reproduce. we're just gonna put G for generation. So this is the, or I'll put gen, oldest generation. And then we're gonna split this half because we want some anomalies. So this will be 50%. This will be 25%. And these will be leftovers. And I'll explain what the leftovers are in a minute because what we're going to do is we're going to split this up into 4 things. One will be the highest reward. We're going to actually change these percentages too. Let's type these out because this will be too hard to get this right. It'll take too long. Reward. I guess I could have done a lot better on all these, but whatever. Wealthiest. Oldest. See, because we want, what we're going to want to do, if they can have multiple generations, is have those generations share experiences with each other. I have an idea on how to do that. I don't really know how that's going to work yet, but I have an idea for that. Because we can have them share traits like they can inherit a certain level of happiness between their parents and a certain level of money. We could create a tax system where the children cost the parents money, so they could literally kill the parents if they go broke. So that will probably happen at some point. It's a crazy concept to think about, sociologically speaking. There's another one I was trying to think of. The reward, wealthiness. Oh, we want to add a happiness factor. That's the last thing we want to try to implement. Or let's say alternative alt traits because we've got a list of these that we've thought about or talked about. There's a few people I've talked to on Discord about this. I'm actually in a server called Cybersecurity Artists. I don't know if they want me giving them a shout out, but they've been supportive of this project. I don't even know where my phone is. Someone told me to make a TikTok. But anyway, I want to change these percentages. They're not going to match the picture. That's fine. Discord is such a vacuum. Just trying to find, I know I wrote out somewhere what percentages I wanted. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we wanted to do I gotta go